In this video, we are going to see how we can configure all the inventory items as well as put their opening balances in Sage for the raw materials. Because we are working on a project which buys the raw material from the market and sells the finished goods. So this is a manufacturing company assignment. And we are considering a scenario that the company is trying to shift from the manual accounting system to computerized accounting system, or they are planning to leave their current accounting system and then shift their balances altogether to the new one. So we need to configure all the items which we have in stock. So let's go to the inventory and services from the corner. And here if we see and refresh, we don't have any inventory items yet. So let's go to the inventory items and click on new inventory item. Since all the items we have in the stock is raw materials, the item ID for all will be RM. RM stands for raw materials. So RM001 is the first item. And the item name is cloth A. I'll just copy this and paste it right here. The item class will be stock item. And since this business only purchases the raw material from the market and not the finished goods, and they are not planning to sell the raw materials as well. So for the sales, I'll not mention any description. I'll just choose the purchases and paste it right here. The costing method will be average costing because that's what most of the companies prefer. The GL account for sales is already set to sales income, while the inventory is set to finished goods. But whatever we purchase should go in the raw materials for inventory. So I'll change this one to 1200, and the raw material cost will be set to cost of sales for raw materials. That's perfect. The unit cost, however, is 100. So I'll just copy and paste that. And after that, I can go to the custom fields. If we want to create some new custom fields, we can create that as well. And we can use all of these custom fields, histories for the future where we enter multiple transactions regarding this inventory. Then all the history will be shown here. So in the general tab, we only have to do this one. Now it's your choice if you want to enter the opening balances of each inventory item by item, or we can create new ones and then we will put all the balances together. So I'll just prefer this one. Click on save and click on new. Next one we have is RM002, which is for cloth B. Let's paste here. Stock item. I'll only purchase this. So just copy and paste there. Sales income, finished goods and raw materials. Finished goods, I only need to change it for raw materials because we are only purchasing the raw materials from the market. And costing method should be set to average. The unit cost, however, is 150. So just paste it right here, just save, and we will put the balances all together at last. So click new. Next one we have is RM003. This one is Bukram. It is stock item. I'll only mention the description for the purchases. It's your choice if you want to mention for both of them. But since we are not selling anything, we will just keep it as it is. So costing is 10. It will be average costing, and the minimum stock and other opening balances detail we will mention later on. So click on save and new. Next is thread. So this is RM004. Item name is thread. This is stock item. Purchases, I'll just mention this one. Costing method is average, and you can mention the cost here. Click save and new. Next is zips. So RM005. This is zips. Stock item. I'll use it for purchases mentioned there. The unit cost is 15. It will be average costing, and that's it. Click on save, click new. Next one we have is button shirts. RM006. Mention button shirts. It's a stock item and it will be used for purchases only. Just mention and paste it here as well. The last unit cost is 1 and the costing method is average. Sales account is already set, but since all the purchases we make for the raw materials will be in the raw materials for inventory, I'll change it to that. Cost of sales is already set to raw materials cost. So that's perfect. Cost is set. Later on we mention all the quantities and opening balances. So click on save and click on new. Just remember to click on save every time, otherwise this record will not be saved. The last one we have is button pins. Actually RM007 I'll mention here, and here I'll paste the description. It will be a stock item used for purchases mentioned there, and the cost is 5. Costing method is average costing. Sales income is already set. GL inventory account should be set to. Raw materials for inventory and cost of sales is also set. Click save, and that's how we record all the inventory details. Now let's put the opening balances. Even if you are on the last one, just click on the beginning balances from here, and under the bottom you can see the summary of all the items. So just click every one of them one by one and just mention the details. So cloth A, quantity is 8,000, unit cost is 100. This makes the total to 800,000. Let's select the second one, which is cloth B. Here the units are 7,000. So you might just copy it from inside if you're unable to paste directly. 150. This makes the total to 1050,000. Press tab. The third one we have is Bukram. So let's write here 15,000 quantity. Unit cost is 10. This makes the total to 150,000. Press tab. Next one is 10,000 thread. Unit cost is 10. This makes it 100,000. Next is zips. Let's just select that. 7,500 is the quantity and the unit cost is 15. This makes the total to 112,500. Next one we have is 30,000 of shirts. So 30,000 quantity, this is buttons. One is the unit cost. This makes the total to 30,000. And the last one is 5,000. Unit cost is 5. This makes the total to 25,000. Press tab and just make sure that all the totals equal to 2267500, 2267500 mentioned here as well. All perfect. Click on save, or actually click on OK from here and save. And this is how not only the inventories are created, but also all the inventory balances is updated. If we go to the inventory and services, first time you will see a get started screen. You can close out of here and then you should see this window. But right now we don't have the inventory showing up right here. So click on refresh from the top and then it should show up like this. And even if you want to check all the inventory from inside, go to inventory items, view and edit inventory items, go in here, and here you should see all the inventory details. If you want to customize the columns even further, what we can do is just right click on any of them, click on column settings, and here we have a lot of available columns. We can remove some of them and add new ones. So for example, price level 1, as you can see, we won't be using this one. So let's remove this. And instead we want quantity on hand. So just choose from the available columns and add it to the list and click OK. And after that, you should see the quantity on hand as well. So this is how you can make all the customizations as well. Just try this by yourself and I'll see you in the next one.